channel. I'm just waiting for it to go live. I'm going to have to say that again. Hi, everyone. I am Sheila Maria. I am a psychic medium and trance medium for Starseeds. This channel is all about angels and fairies, and I am speaking to you this morning with my beautiful angelic spirit guide called Rose. I have got no subscribers on here. This is a new venture for me, so if you would like, share and subscribe, I would be very, very grateful. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this morning a video about abundance in May 2021. So somebody has said space, time and resources. Okay, let's tap into what Rose wishes to say, and her energy is just so beautiful. She's just so gorgeous. Just bear with me. So the first thing that Rose is saying is that we limit ourselves every day. We look at what we see and we don't see beyond that. We might perceive that we would like more of something, but we don't see beyond the life that we're living now. That's natural. She says, you are supernatural. You have the capacity to see more than you believe you can. So she says, imagine wherever you live, going to the top of a hill. And you've lived in that area for quite some time. And although you go to the top of the hill and the view is impressive and you can see for a long way, you can see a great distance, you can't see the details. You can't see the potential that the different details lend themselves to. So to you, you've walked up a hill, you're looking out at where you live. And even though you can see farther ahead and farther around, your mind tells you that it's just the same thing. Yet if you were to go for a job interview in another town, you may have driven through that town, you may have shopped in that town, but you never knew that there was a particular type of person that does a particular type of thing that's married to a person in your new job. There are opportunities that you cannot see logically or even emotionally, because your experience tells you, I'm looking at the same thing. And even when you project into a future that you would like to believe you will have, you are using the template that you live in now. So it's like going up to the top of the hill and saying, wow, look at that view. And yet you're subconsciously documenting, there's my house, there's the church, there's the factory, there's the coast. You're looking at the view from a known reference point. That is human. As a soul, you volunteered to come here because you know that there are no limits. And the reason you came was to bring that knowledge that you have as a soul that there are no limits into a place that appears to have nothing but limits. So as a soul, and I speak to you as a soul, you will have no problem believing and knowing and sensing that this might be the last human lifetime you ever have. You will have no problem believing you have been a fairy. You have been a goddess. You have been a galactic being. You have been a dragon. You have been types of angels that your human mind cannot comprehend, least of all understand. And even though the amnesia is in place, you have no problem as a soul believing that you will live forever in many different forms. As a soul, you have no limits. Even though you don't quite know what those limits are, you naturally don't have any. And yet as a human, you do. So all I, Rose, am asking of you, for you, is that you endeavor to know that you have no limits at all. And so this month, even though your human persona may feel that you are being stretched or you are being limited, you also know as a soul that there is so much more possible. And I will tell you why. This isn't just Sheila talking about what has been said before. This isn't her. There are 13 realms running through wherever you are sat now. There are the realms of the stones and the minerals and the crystals. There are the underworlds. There are the warrior worlds. There are elemental realms, parallel realms. There are other versions of Earth. There are galactic realms. There are featureless realms of the elements where there is only motion and there is only sound. There are realms of pure color. And each of these realms is like a potential that is used when events out of the ordinary occur on your earth. So these events could be apocalyptic in nature, or they could be the miracles that the gurus have performed. They could be the inventions. They could be the failures. They could be the new concepts and the new discoveries in science and medicine and philosophy that come forth. But what we are saying is that the life you have lived now has already gone. It's already been. The life you are creating depends upon what you know to be true now. If you continue to know what has been true and it has gone, my dears, you will simply repeat and rewind. But if you know, as I tell you in truth, that there are potentials that can never be proved, that can be sensed, but they cannot be touched, they cannot be seen, but they affect everything. If you know that, if you just know, not because someone told you so, not because I told you so, not because Sheila told you so, not because you had a reading and they told you so, but because you are a soul. So you know, and I know that you know. When you know that there is nothing but pure creation at play, there is nothing but everything, then in the now moment, you do not need to know what that will be. You do not need to decide. That is what your mind tells you. Have you observed that Sheila is getting younger? Have you observed the changes in yourself? If you look around, you will observe things that make no logical sense at all, and yet they are real, or as real as anything can be. So if you are engaging not just with the knowledge that there are layers and layers and layers of potentials available in this very second, and now in this minute, and now in this hour, if you then go one step further and engage with the lightest, brightest, most loving potentials. So you know that there is polarity, but you do not want any more of that. But the more you try to convince yourself that there is no polarity in your life, boom, more comes in. So you know that there is polarity. You also know that in this beautiful world, there is great good. And there is the opposite. But if you see a beautiful world in the now, genuinely that's the way you see it, and you know that there are all of these layers of creation, the fairies, the angels, the elements, the goddesses, all of these different realms, the deities of times gone by, the earliest forms of human life and animal life, all here in the now, within their realms. Even the dinosaurs still walk the earth in their realms. When you know this, and you then know how much goodness and beauty and love, how much potential, how much possibility, how much light there is. Because although the other is, if you focus on the love and the success and the opportunities and the brightness and the radiance and the goodness of nature in all those realms, that, without an outcome limiting you, is what you create. That is what you will receive. And then, as you continue to know that you are always supported, that you are becoming more radiant, that you are becoming more loved, that you are becoming, you will then start to have braver ideas of what you are prepared to try next, of how you are prepared to reinvent yourself, of the things that you would like to do that you would never have dared even consider trying or believing you could achieve before. And this doesn't happen through convincing yourself of anything. Your human may need to be convinced. Your soul, you as a soul, you know that there is nothing but everything available to you now. Try it. It works. I love you. Okay. Lots of love, YouTube.